All right, we've got Zach and Shelby from Indiana. Guys, thanks for being on here with me. I really appreciate it. And repping the merch too. Heck
Representing.
yeah. Love that. I love that. I'm so super stoked to get you here. Seriously, thank you for taking the time.
Absolutely. Heck yeah.
So, guys, anyone that's going to be watching this, Zach and Shelby are in our Ascension program, and they have been making some big moves. And I just wanted to feature them here and to have a discussion. I was telling them right before we started, like, this is just casual. Like, I'm gonna ask a few questions, and we're gonna talk about it. And the whole hope is that somebody watching this is inspired. That's the whole goal.
Right.
So
Yeah.
wanted to feature them, congratulate them on everything that they've been, all the work that they've been putting in, all the success that they're seeing, and then inspire a few folks. So let's do it.
Let's do it.
We're ready.
So my first question is let's start in the beginning real quick. What caused you to pursue real estate in the beginning?
Me was probably 6 or 7 years ago. I just started getting, I guess that's when I really started researching the whole investments, real estate, blah, blah, blah. So,
Yeah.
I decided to get my real estate license. That was my entry point. I got to get my license. And then, my goal was to jump in and start, become an investor. But that didn't go as planned. So I became an agent. I was an agent for probably 4 or 5 years before I really got to that investment side of things.
Yeah. Nice. That's awesome. And then
Mine
Shelby,
is
how
very
about for you?
smart. And it is Zach. That's how I got into real estate.
I knew the answer to that one already, and I was hoping that that's how you were going to approach it. And it was Zach. Zach pulled me into real estate.
Simple and sweet, yeah.
Humble and sweet. That's right. I love it. So what have you been doing recently in real estate? Because I know you did the agent side for a while, then you got into the investment side. And maybe we should start there. Is what on the investment side, where did you start on the investment side of things?
I guess it really all started when I met Michael Talbis. I was showing one of my clients the house that Michael had listed, the house he just recently finished up, he was flipping. And that's really where it all started. I just had that conversation with Michael. It's like, hey, how'd you get started? Like I said, I'm a realtor for a client of mine, but I was curious. And he suggested reading Todd's book. If you can't wholesale after this, I got nothing for you.
Yeah.
That was 2 years ago. I mean, this has all happened, like I said, within the last 2 years. So we met Michael, read the book, and like probably with a week after that, reading the book, we're on the phone with talking about joint Axiom. So
that's right. There you
kind of escalated pretty quickly.
It escalated pretty quickly. I love it.
Yeah.
And it's should be mentioned that for anyone that's watching this that lives in a rural area, shining examples right here, because they live in population of like cows.
Yes, lots of cows.
Population cows. Oh, there's people too, I guess. There's people too. Right. But I mean, it's like how big is your area roughly, just to give people a sense of scale? Like under 20,000, 30,000 people probably.
Oh yeah, it's probably like our county alone, I'd say it's probably under 30,000. But like so we're rural, like all our surrounding counties are rural. I mean, we have to cover like 4 or 5 counties to get, I think, 400,000 people, as far as the numbers.
Right.
But I mean, I've heard people talking about like that's why they're hesitant to start, because, and this was a concern of mine, was like, we don't have the numbers, we don't have enough population, but we're doing it. That's contrary to belief, we're still doing it.
Yeah, that's right. So that was a big thing that was a stumbling block for you in the beginning. Then was worried about, is there enough people here?
Right.
Nice. Well, I'm glad that you proved that wrong.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's like I said, people don't let that stop you. Like I said, it's it may be a little bit more, I guess, more difficult, but like I said, the numbers are there. There's deals everywhere. Doesn't matter the population. There's still people that need help, and we're we're doing it. So
yeah. Well, and you mentioned that it might be a little bit more difficult, but at the same time, like looking at what you guys have built, I mean, I love getting messages from you, Zach, where it's like, hey, yeah, I went from like not feeling super great about what I was doing to I have this lined up and this lined up and this lined up. And I mean, you guys just got done with a closing like 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So that doesn't suck. So it's
No.
just that whole like compound effect where it's like it maybe seems like imperceivable growth for a while, and then all of a sudden it like shoots off, and then you're able to more effortlessly start putting stuff together. Would you say
Yeah.
that's true?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think, it's, I mean, in 2 years, I feel like we've come a long way, but like in the past year, like since we joined Ascension, like just what that's done the past year, it's like it's taken off. I mean, it's her and I talk about it every day. Like it's like look where we were 6 months ago. Look where we
Right.
were, a year ago. It's completely different place for us.
Yeah. So let's talk about now like what you've got going on kind of recently, because I know I was starting to go there and I pulled back, but what are you guys focusing on right now and in the more recent time frame? What's been the focus and what have you guys done?
So in the past 6 months, our main goal, anyways, is to acquire rental properties. That's kind of what our goal is.
Mhm.
So we bought our first rental property this past summer. We bought a duplex.
Yes.
Duplex, using private money from somebody out of the group. So
Yes.
it's for us. We've closed on several wholesale deals this year alone.
Yeah.
Now we're excess of $100,000 in wholesale fees this year alone. Right.
That feels good.
Yeah. So
I
we're
mean,
working on.
that's that alone right there. I mean, I was going to interrupt you when you said, yeah, we bought our duplex. I'm like, cool, thanks for joining the call. We can end right there because
See ya.
now your landlord's like, now the sky's the limit, right? But then add on to that, oh, we did 6 figures in wholesale fees as well. And we're not done yet.
No. I mean, we were doing a couple other things, like we're working on our first short sale. Hopefully we have that worked out in the next, month or so. That's new for us. I'm still a real estate agent. I've still got clients I'm working with. But like I said, we're really focusing on acquiring more rental properties for us. But I mean, there again, 6 months ago we didn't have one, and here we are. We already have one looking for more.
Right. Right. Exactly. That feels good. Shelby,
Yes.
does that feel good?
Feels fantastic.
Yeah.
Feels fantastic.
Yeah. So a year ago, you guys were trying to figure out what the direction looked like, if I remember correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong. And you guys came together, and this is something that goes far beyond the financial side, but it led to the financial side. And you guys came together and you're like, hey, we need to reevaluate where we want to go, right? And you guys took that time, and then you guys have really become true. I mean, I know you guys are married, but like obviously like truly connected on the business side, just like you are in every other aspect of your life.
Absolutely.
And that has been the precipice of like that huge growth. I mean, being in Ascension doesn't hurt either, but like I just want to highlight like the fact that you guys were willing to go, okay, we need to like make sure we are totally in alignment on the business side.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that regardless of what the roles are, like we'll figure out what that needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna come at this and we're gonna hash out like this is what I'm expecting, this is what I'm expecting. Let's just get back to the ground level and start building from there. And I just got to commend you guys for that, because I've seen you guys go through that and that work you've put in, and it's led to all of this. And this is just the foundation.
Right.
Like, this is just the starting point, and it's a hell of a starting point of like, sweet, we've got a duplex in our first year of trying to get rentals. That doesn't suck. The year's not even over yet, and we've been trying to get more rentals. But oh darn, we made $100,000 plus in wholesale fees. Well, okay, I guess we'll accept that. Oh, and we have a short sale deal going on. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's a fantastic foundation that's going to springboard you guys into the next year.
Right. Yeah. I mean, because like we said, we're looking at properties about every week now. I mean, like I said, we're still staying busy. We're our pipeline. We're working on our system. But I mean, going back to what you just said, like, yeah, her and I's relationship, our marriage is stronger, our business partnership is stronger, because truly anything that comes, across our way, like we discussed, like it's like, hey, kind of like what you and I have talked about in the past, like we had that flow chart, where does this fit in our life? Does this bring us joy? And it's just, we're building on those principles.
Yeah.
It's a mindset too, Luke. Like our mindset going in of what we were 2 years ago. It's like, how is this possible? There's no way. There's no way, right? And it's just been an effort of daily accountability, like daily work. You put in the hours, you put in the time, you put in the thoughts, and have those hard conversations.
Yes.
And those don't always end up beautifully, but they have an
That is
outcome, and
very
that's what's
true.
important, right? So I like what it's brought for me. Like, I still have my W-2, but it's another mindset of for now. But how do we utilize that?
Yeah.
Right. We have opportunities within it. And I didn't see that 2 years ago. Right. I was a teacher. So much has changed, but it's crazy to kind of sit here and think like what we're doing now is foundation.
Yes.
We're not even thinking of it like we're thinking that we're zooming through, like we're going, like we are on the path.
Yes.
We are on the path, but this is still the past year, 6 months, 2 years. It's just been the foundation to put us where we ultimately want to be.
Yeah. You can think about where our goalposts were a year ago. Like
I
we
was
set
just
goalposts.
thinking about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, we had goalposts here, but we exceeded them. Like we just blew past them. So it's taken a little bit to like, hey, we were able to do that. But like I said, so we're setting new goals and it's building that momentum up.
Yeah. I will never forget that conversation as long as I live. Like, I'll never forget when we talked about it and it's like, wait a second. This is what's happening. Your goalpost was here and you're here and now you don't know what to do because you exceeded your goalpost. Like, not by a little bit. It was like we blew past it at 110 miles an hour and we're like,
now what?
What was that?
Stop the car. Right. We still have to check ourselves, and it's like something isn't right. Something's not bringing us peace. What's wrong? Where are we at? Right. And then we reevaluate. And
it's huge.
Lo and behold, like, typical me, I have goosebumps just thinking about it. Like, then it's like, oh, duh, we passed it.
Yeah.
What's the next thing?
We're uncomfortable because we've exceeded our own expectations, which is a very weird place to be at.
It is.
Usually people are uncomfortable because they're not doing enough or they don't feel they're doing enough to achieve their goals, which I know you guys felt, going back even further. But then to be in a position where you're like, I feel out of place because I went past what I ever thought I was capable of achieving. Because your actions then have gone exceeded where you were at mentally, which goes into what Shelby was saying. So you had to play like some mental catch up to become the person that was able to handle what you had already achieved. It's a very unique position to be in.
Yeah, I mean, it's a roller coaster, but like I said, again, we'll go back 2 years ago, before we even joined Axiom, it was that conversation, like, I got off the phone with Joel, it's like, hey, I'm all pumped up. This is what we have here, but I was scared of like the cost. It's like, hey, but it's like, we didn't, we talked about it and it worked out. It's like, she was on board. She saw the, the excitement I had. It's like, look, we're going to make this work. And we did, we jumped all in, and but there again, like I said, after that, I mean, 2 years ago, we were completely different mindset, different people, different world, it's hard to even think about where we were then.
I want to throw in a little tidbit of, you were talking about how uncomfortableness and everything changes, right? I'll never forget that moment that he looked at me and he was like, this is what it is. This is what it costs. I was like, okay. And it just so happened that God made it. That's what was on left available balance on the credit card. And now look at us. Like, it's been paid 1,000 times over, right? I mean, it's crazy. But I'll never forget that moment that he like was hesitant to bring the opportunity to me. And I saw it in his eyes. Like, he loves it. And now I've grown to love it just as much as him.
Well, you get to see him pursue something that he loves.
Yes.
And he's leading in a completely different capacity for the family. I mean, this is getting into like all the real stuff now, right?
All the things.
Right.
All the things now. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's at the end of the day, that's what everybody's pursuing.
Right.
Yeah.
Like everyone's like, oh, I want the Lambo, I want the house, I want the blah blah blah. That's not nobody, I mean, yes, we all want that crap, but at the same time, that's not what we're truly pursuing. At the end of the day, we want to be able to come home to somebody that we're connected with, that we love, and that we're running with. And that's what you guys built.
Right. Because even we didn't mention about, like, so as you know, we have a farm, we're big into cows. But
I
the
was,
way
I
we
was trying to think,
acquired,
how do I slip in the cows here in a way that people will
Oh,
understand?
I'll just do it. It's fine. I
It's
like
fine.
cows.
See,
We
I
like
figured
cows.
you'd bring it up.
We have a farm.
We have a farm. Shelby is a cow
We're
mom.
the rural people. Yes.
but there again, like the community, like I said, that it goes back to Talpas. Like that's how we acquired this farm. We bought, we paid almost $400,000 for a farm on creative financing. Like we bought it,
Yeah.
on seller financing. That was, but 2 years ago we talked about one day we want to be able to buy a farm. That's our dream. Well, we've made it happen. It's like
Right.
we were creative with it.
Right.
So here we are.
And you made it happen, and it worked out. And then this is beautiful. So that was at the point where you guys like realized you had exceeded or started to exceed that expectation of yourself, because you're like, wait a second, we got the farm way faster than we thought we would, and we did it creatively. Wait a second, when did we ever think this was possible? Like when did that point happen? I don't remember when that point happened. It just
just blew past that point.
yeah, exactly. It just kind of happened. We're like, okay. That feels good. So, needless to say, I would say it sounds like you've had a good experience in Axiom, or had a good experience in Axiom. Then in Ascension, it sounds like you've had a good experience there so far. Would you say that's true?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Say the least.
Say the least. That's good. Okay, good to know. So when it came to, because I think this is big. When it came to presenting the offer to Shelby, or presenting the opportunity to Shelby for like Axiom, because this is big, not just for like people looking to potentially join our program, but like with people that are presenting opportunity in general. Because I hear that a lot, and because the way you guys worded that is what triggered this for me. When we have spouses where they will be hesitant to present opportunity of any kind to their spouse.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you overcome that fear to present that to Shelby and be like, I think this is what we need to do?
I mean, like I said, I was scared. I mean, it's because, she was coming from a school teacher salary.
Yeah.
I was, basically a full-time agent, but I just left the school system too. So I was, we were at that transition point where we didn't have that in the savings, we didn't have that. So it was a concern, but like I said, we had that discussion, but I think she knows my passion for real estate. She knew, how I felt about it. I guess she felt it, but just having that discussion, like, hey, it is an investment, but that's how we have to look at it. It's an investment into ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's where it all starts. It's not just us throwing out the money just to buy something. No, like it's an investment into our future. And that's, I feel like that's how we discussed, and that's how we handled it. But just the way it worked out. I mean, it's one of those things that even if you're on the fence about it, look at it that way. Invest in yourself. How bad do you want it? What do you want your future to look like? Because these are the tools you need. I mean, it's all here. It's a community that gives you the support. It's a huge investment. So have that faith in yourself and the community, and jump, take the leap.
That's what we call a mic drop right there. Wow. It's true though. It's true though. I mean, you just answered my next 3 questions. So that's that's all my questions. See you. Great, guys. But to that point, I will say that that's, you hear a lot of people talk about like what they want to accomplish and what they say they're going to accomplish. But at the end of the day, a lot of times it boils down to what you were just talking about of, are they willing to invest in themselves? Regardless of what it is, whether it's real estate or not, like just in general, are they willing to invest in themselves? Because if they want X and it's going to take Y, Z, A, B, whatever, however many alphabet numbers you want to throw in there, but it starts with investing with yourself. Okay, are you going to take that leap? Are you going to take that plunge? Because you said you want this. Here's the test.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And you guys rose to that occasion, not just for yourself, but for each other and for your family. And it has paid off 10, 20 million fold. Like it's beautiful to see. And I'm incredibly proud of you guys. Truly. It's amazing to see. And I know we're just in the beginning, so I can't wait to be doing another one of these like a year from now. And it's going to be like, oh yeah, so we bought Indiana.
we put it into pasture and they're all growing cows.
Yeah, we're up to 50,000 cows. I mean, we're getting, we have a little herd. It's only 50,000 cattle. It's fine.
You know,
And they all have
We're
names.
changing our last name to Dutton.
right? Yeah.
I'd be okay with it.
I'd be okay with it. I'd be okay with it. Well, guys, I really
Great.
appreciate you taking the time and talking and getting real with me. I really do. I know you guys know this, but I just love you guys to pieces, truly, and
We
cannot
love you
wait
too.
for the future and continuing to run with you guys. So, thanks for taking the time, guys. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
See you guys.
See ya.